episode, we are going to be speaking to Mr. Naguib Zaki Bassily, who was one of the founding members of the Coptic Church and Coptic community in Melbourne, Australia. Naguib, thank you very much for your time today.
Welcome anytime.
Could you please tell the audience your memories and reflections and recollections of your journey and migration to Australia?
I migrated to Australia here I arrived in Perth on the 3rd of April 1968. We left Egypt by ship, Galileo, and it took about 17 days to arrive to Perth. We finished the migration facilities and the entrance to Australia, and you arrived Melbourne here on the 4th of April 1968. When we came here, I didn't know much about the people here, but so I wanted to go to the Bonegella, and we put the address to Bonegella. I had my cousin first came here before we came here, and she came in 1967. I was delayed because of the war in 1967 in Egypt, and our visa was postponed until April. I'm sorry, I got the wrong thing. When we arrived here, we found our cousin who came in 1967 waiting at the port of Melbourne, and she insisted we go to her house. We told her we have put our address in the Bonegella. She said, no, impossible. My husband, we are waiting for you to come to our home. So she insisted, so we decided to go with her, and we got our luggage and went to her home in Richmond. And we stayed there for a few days. Yvette, my wife, within 3 days or 4 days, she started working in Richmond in a lingerie company.
Yes.
Doing underwear, clothing with the silk. And at that time, the salaries used to be $50 for men and $30 for women. So she started working. They loved her very much. I was working in Egypt in Marconi Radio Telegraph Company of Egypt, and I was coming here to the OTC of Melbourne, but I was too late, and I had my friend. He came here 10 days before me. So I contacted him and I told him I'm coming to Melbourne, and he was very happy to receive us, and he told us all the details about jobs and living here in Australia. And when we came here, I rang him and he came and saw me. After a few days, after a week or so, in the weekend, he took me and we went to the city, and we put applications around, and I saw the personal officers and put applications around many places. And two of them was Ansett Airlines and TAA at that time. And we went home, and going home he told me, don't forget to go to Myers. I told him, what I'm going to do in Myers? He told me, never mind, let's go to Myers. I went to Myers and I saw the personnel officer, and the personnel officer told me, where are you from? I told him, I'm from Egypt. I said, oh yes, from Nasser, Mr. Nasser. I told him, yes, I'm from Egypt. He tried to ask me about politics and so on. I told him I'm not working with politics. I'm just coming here to get a better life. I told him, why do you come here? Then I got 2 children and my family. I'm looking forward for a better life. It's a bit hard there, getting now very hard. So we came here to get better life, you know. He told me, you came in the wrong time. Its financial year is nearly very close, and it will be a bit hard to find a job. So he thankfully he started ringing friends to find me any job for the time being. He couldn't find any. He told me, I'm very sorry. It's very, very hard this time of the year. But I will give you a job. Do you know Shaston? Do you know Dandenong? I told him, I just came in. I don't know anything except here. He told me, okay, I'll get you here. I'll give you a job for living, get some pocket money to live, and you will find a very good job very soon. You're not going to, it's very soon you'll find another job. So I thanked him and I went home. On the 16th or 17th of June, TAA rang me and they told me if I want to join TAA. I told him yes, I want to come to TAA, and I started with TAA.
And that's an airline company? That's aeroplanes?
Aeroplane, yes.
Yeah.
It's a domestic aeroplane
Yeah.
company. It was in Australia. And we'll come later. So I started with them.
And where were you living at the time?
We were still living with my cousin in Richmond.
Right. Had you met any other Coptic Egyptians when you arrived?
Not really, but I rang my one of the families of my sister-in-law. They gave me the phone numbers, but I didn't know where they live. So I rang them, and they told me, "Oh yes, you came. We are going to come and see you and get you here." They were living in Albert Park, number 3, St. Vincent Place South in Albert Park. So they came and they told me, come with us. At that time they were renting rooms, not houses. They told me there is a room empty and you can come with us and live with us. He was living on the ground floor and went upstairs on the first floor, and there was another fellow, Egyptian fellow, Khalil Latif, Khalil.
Right.
We rented the house there, the room, and we started living there. Khalil was working, he's an electrician, and he used to work with
Doesn't matter. Keep
with
going.
Holden,
Yeah.
Holden Company. And we were very happy together. We went around, and after a little while he told me there is a trip going to Mount Bulla snow area. We went there. We met Alphonse, Saif, and Amal, and that was the first time I saw him, and we became friends. Later on, Khalil told me after a while, we usually go to All Nations Church in Carlton, and there is someone is translating Arabic to us. So come, and there is many Egyptian people, you will know them and introduce you to them, and come and see. Oh, I told him, oh yes, I can come with you next Sunday. Sunday was the 18th of September 1968. We went there. After the service, it was gathering together for the bread taking, and there was one of the community there and coming to every row, asking people or inviting people to go to in front and take the bread with them. So when he came to us, we were very surprised. It was very hard for us, and he told us, welcome, you can go and get we told him, I'm very sorry, I can't do that because we are Christians and we are Orthodox. So he was very astonished, and there was a very hard time. So he told me twice. I told him, thank you very much, I can't do that. So after the service, we went out, and I started telling my wife, it is impossible to come here anymore. We are not coming here anymore. So we decided to go home, and in the afternoon, I took Yvette and went to Alphonse Saif home. He was living in South Melbourne. I found him putting a large recording tape, the old ones, and listening to one of these services and the mass. So we start talking. I told him what happened exactly in the United Church, and I told him we have to start our gathering together to get a priest or somebody. He told me, no, don't. The Egyptians are a bit rude. They are not very helpful. Keep away of them. So I tried to convince him. After a while, I did convince him, and we started. We told we can start on the Saturday, on the 24th of September, 1968, in our home in number 3 St. Vincent Place South. Amal was in hospital to get her child, Judy. So she didn't come to us. Anyway, we were about 10 people, myself, Alphonse, Khalil, Latif, Wadid, Zaky, who was living in the ground floor, and he migrated to Canada after a week. And we got Sami Hazaballah and his wife, Fath Ilyas and his wife, Saad, Albert Saad. That's all.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for your time
Thank
today.
you very much, and I appreciate your help to me. And
no worries.
thank you.